So, continuing from where we left off last day in lesson 4, what we're going to ask now, Brendan, is this. Instead of me giving you a radical and saying reduce it, write it, and simplify, what if I give you the simplified version? Can you go back in the direction that it originally came from? And it's going to be exactly what we did last day, except backwards. So speaking backwards, talking, Bill, no. It's going to be backwards, though. I'm not going to talk it backwards. I'm going to explain it. So it says, converting mixed radicals with an index of 2 back to entire radicals. And then there's English instructions. And Carmelina, just like I said last day, I'm going to say to you, it's actually easier, trust me, if I do the example first and then I go back and do the English. So it says, rewrite the following as an entire radical. Supposing I gave you a question and I said simplify and you told me the answer was 2 root 5. Where did it come from? Well, where did that 2 come from? It must have come from a root 4. Right? Oh, and what else is sitting there? What was the original question? Right? Right? That's the whole lesson. I almost think I could stop now, but let's do a couple more. 2 root 6. That must have come from a root 4. There was already a root 6. The original question must have been a root 24. Six root 3 must have been a root 36 and a root 3, which is 108, I think. Double check me. I think it's 100. 108? We must have started out with that. And you know what? Let's try and write this. To put it back into a root, rewrite the front as a perfect square inside a radical, and then multiply everything together. Is that kind of what we're doing? I mean, it's hard for me to explain this one, Brendan, in English. I think it's clearer, Brandon, when you're doing this one, to just do it. We're going backwards. We're doing exactly the opposite of what we did last day. Last day we said, what times what? Pick a perfect square. Take the square root of the perfect square. There's your answer. Now we're saying, go back, square your what's in front to get the perfect square, and then multiply them to get back what you started with. It says, and then. Thank you. And technically the and shouldn't be capitalized, but my program does it automatically. There you go. D. Where'd that 9 come from? Must have been a root 81, root 5. Must have been the square root of 405? Yes? No? Yeah? You okay there, Jack? Good, then shut up. I mean, okay. Ah! No, relax. We can do E. I think we can. You guys have E on yours, yeah? Yeah. All right. What's in front? Carmelina, can you read to me what's in front of the radical? Where did that come from? Where'd the 2 come from? A 4. Where'd the x come from? X squared. Where'd the y squared come from? And there was also already a 5xy. What must my original question have been? A 20, an x cubed, and a y to the 5th. Must have been. Well, someone said that's easy. It's easy if you know your perfect squares and you've gone forwards like last lesson. I used to teach these both on the same lesson, and kids would get them mixed up. I've learned now, do the going forwards day 1, and then going backwards day 2. Usually goes pretty quick. So, mister, that's easy. Try F on your own. Let's see if we get the same thing. I'll freeze the screen up here. Screen frozen. See if you can rewrite that as an entire radical. I think. Let me double check. 9x to the 6th, y to the 4th. You're going to have 54. You're going to have 6 x's, and you're going to have 5. Am I right? Yeah. Oh, okay. By the way, are we using a calculator to do these? So as long as these numbers are smallish, they're fair game on the non-calc section. Now, they're not going to put in front here a 117, and you'd have to go, well, where'd that 117 come from? It came from 117 square. What's that? They're not going to give you something yucky like that, Grayson. But you know what? As long as the numbers in front are below 20, the perfect squares are fair game. Okay, maybe below 15. All those perfect squares are pretty much fair game. Reminder. Simplify means take the perfect square from inside the root. Write it like that. Write as an entire radical means go backwards. Write it as one single solitary thing. Okay? Just so that let me pause this here for a second.